So what if we consider zinc hydroxide, which is ZnOH2? Innocently, it looks just like the formula for magnesium hydroxide. So we would expect to see the same thing happen. So we're going to look at what we know so far, and we can say that based on Le Chatelier's principle, when ammonia, or NH3, which happens to be a base, when ammonia is added, the solution is basic, and we would predict the solubility of zinc hydroxide to decrease. And I'll put in parentheses, just like the magnesium hydroxide. So if you're curious, you're going to go into the lab and you're going to perform an experiment. So experimentally, we take a test tube that has some zinc hydroxide in an aqueous solution. We're going to add concentrated NH3, and our observation is that the precipitate completely dissolves. So as a chemist, you start jotting down references in your lab notebook, and you say stuff like this. And it's like, man, I thought I had all this chemistry down. I'm understanding everything. Le Chatelier's principle's great. And then we go in the lab and we add concentrated ammonia, which is a base. It adds hydroxide ions, and this stuff starts to dissolve. So you can come up with a couple conclusions. Maybe you made the wrong experiment. So you do it again, it dissolves again. Do it a third time, it dissolves for a third time. So now you're like in the moment where, has anybody seen the movie Dumb and Dumber? So they're driving out to Aspen, Colorado, and we're expecting to see Rocky Mountains. And Lloyd Christmas says, man, that John Denver's full of shit. I thought the Rocky Mountains would be a lot rockier than this, right? So he's in the wrong place. Maybe we're thinking in the wrong place over here. So our conclusion could be, man, that Le Chatelier's full of shit. Or we're looking at this from the wrong way. From the observations that we've looked at in this qualitative analysis scheme, what happens when you take a precipitate, or you have a solid right here, and you add some sort of reagent, and it completely dissolves? What could we maybe conclude that this is due to? So instead of getting all mad and pulling our hair out, if the precipitate completely dissolves, maybe it's this complex ion stuff. So when we look at the solubility, it would be great if we could just look at it in terms of Le Chatelier's principle and in terms of equilibrium expressions and adding one ion or subtracting another ion. But a lot of things happen, and in this case, just like the name implies, it's a complex ion.